Hit it, Robert.
Not the turtle. We're gonna get pulled off of the air by PETA or some shit.
Yo, there's a turtle on the screen.
Oh, damn. What's up,
Turtle. This is Gym Crashers. We're live. And unexpectedly, we got an awesome guest tonight. And Zeda Zhang is sitting right next to me in the middle.
Yeah, man.
Also with my co-host and partner in crime, Adam, according to Woods.
What's good, party people?
And the other one-third of this trio is Joey.
Yeah, that's right, folks. What's up, world? What's up, Gym Crashers? How you doing, folks?
Thank you, Joe. It's always good to see you. Adam, tell us more about Zeda Zhang.
Dude, what can I say that isn't already said? I mean, former NXT prospect, Mae Young Classic competitor, literally won the hearts and souls of people who didn't know about you before. You kind of transcended everything that was the WWE Network in your performances at NXT in Winter Park, right?
It was in Orlando, but pretty much right next to Winter Park.
Yeah, okay. It's like a...
Anaheim, Santa Ana, you know.
Pretty much the
like
same.
That.
Hell yes. But holy shit, you're here with us. That's cool.
Adam almost ditched me tonight. He almost ditched me. He was not in studio. I told him Zeda Zhang was in-house, and guess what? He showed up. Do we not have mic check here, sir? Mic check, mic check. This is mic check. Are we good? We're golden. I see my voice moving on the screen.
Your voice is moving on the screen? That's an apparition.
I mean, your mouth is moving.
It is.
Holy shit.
Are we going to talk about what you would do for $2 million on this show? No, not right now.
Wait, how did it get lessened from $10 million when I walked in to
it's $10 million.
Yeah, holy $10 million. I know most managers literally will do 30%, but apparently you fucking took $8 million right off the fucking top.
In Fiji, $2 million goes a long way, buddy. That's a lot of village.
That's like the whole fucking country, dude.
That's right. That's a lot of village to have. Damn.
Yeah, man.
That's a lot of kava root.
Hell yes. So, Zeda, what brings you here tonight? I mean, how did you kind of get to the...
We're getting intimate here. Getting intimate with
I
Zeda.
teleported over here.
Yes, she did.
Augmented reality. That's dope.
Well, I can tell you this, that she is now a great friend of ours. And love meeting her, and it feels like I've known her for years. So, incredible.
Basically.
Yep. And our producer's giving us the look. Give us the look, producer. Are we good for her to get her story? Because I don't want to do this twice.
No, go ahead, say
Zeda.
something.
Hi. Oh, he got a turtle.
Oh. I don't get a turtle.
Oh, turtle.
I'm not special.
I like turtles.
It's all good. Okay, so Zeda's live. Zeda came in because she's actually doing business with Robert, our producer, and has a lot to do with, I think he's going to work on the production of what she's coming out with.
Yeah, I got a new clothing line coming out.
Woo!
Oh, damn.
I dig this. That's pretty sexy.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait, it could be like, I don't know, like
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
like 1930s Prohibition era. Like, I don't know. Why do you assume that it was sexy?
It's going to be a potato
That's
sack.
Chauvinistic.
Whatever. If you were wearing it, I wouldn't even look.
You know?
It's a loincloth.
Whoa.
Oh, 10 points. Right on.
A loin cup.
That's what we're doing here.
A dinger slinger.
Wow. Well, that stuff fit me.
Adam's wife,
Yes,
I'm
it
sorry
comes in
to be
all
so
sizes.
giggly tonight.
Oh, thank you.
All sizes. You can pick the different cloth material. So, you can pick the
Why do I
absorbent
have the
material.
dead turtle?
And then you can have, like, the lighter material for summertime so you can air out.
And it's super soft. If you can
Super
feel
soft.
this, oh my God. I want a gi made out of this material to roll jujitsu.
I need some underwear.
Speaking of roll, dig the hat. Thank you guys.
Yeah, man.
Send us more.
Well, we kind of saw some of your, fashion flair in your appearance at the Mae Young Classic. I mean, you were kind of telling us off air that you essentially wanted to stand out. I mean, your costume choice was a little bit different than all the other girls in the competition. And how did that come about?
Well, I was thinking everyone's doing two pieces. I wanted to be a little bit more covered, so I decided to do a one piece. And then I was like, all right, I'm really covered. Let me change it a little bit up. I had this opening in the middle because one of my favorite games growing up and still is my favorite game is Mortal Kombat.
Whoa.
And so I liked all the ninjas, and I was just thinking, well, if I were to make a female Scorpion, what would she look like? And that was basically the idea behind it. And it really had a superhero type look. So I was drawn to that because the thing is, like, I have a crazy little background, so it's
Tell
like
me more.
it's not a happy background, but
Oh, the other kind of crazy background.
It's a-
I whisper to you too, Joe.
it's
Come
a-
on over.
not 2 million crazy. Okay,
Bring the pillow.
Okay.
2 million.
Again.
She just sold herself short.
Yeah,
It was
apparently
50
I get
earlier.
10. And yeah, you could hit me up in the DMs to find out
right.
what the fuck that's about.
Well,
But
that's called the extra Uber.
absolute. Oh, damn.
The super Uber.
That's Luber.
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 Yeah.
And his name is Dark Diggler.
so
That I love
that
about
was
him.
good.
Right?
That was really.
I
did you
came
just
up with
come
that before.
that?
I did on a previous show.
yes, absolutely.
Damn, that was
The
good.
That was good.
Polynesian
Yeah, yeah.
Panda, Dark Diggler, Johnny
Yeah.
Punani,
There you go.
and
There you
Joey the Bull.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And Zeda.
Yeah,
Zhang
absolutely.
in-house.
So, I mean, the inspiration for your attire in the Mae Young Classic was a female scorpion, right? So when you saw the material that would make your dream kind of come into manifestation, did you go, get over here? Like, no?
Pretty much. I mean, I wanted to be like, get over here
Yeah,
in my match, but then they'd be like, what are you doing?
yeah. Oh.
In my mind, I was like, get over here.
Who would that be? Like, that person remain nameless? Let's do that. We don't want to get you nuclear heat. So here's
Keep
that.
the questions clean.
Yeah.
I'm messing with you. I don't care.
Where are you messing me?
Where are you
me
going?
At?
I'll mess you all up.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's a
10
promise.
points. And
That's
that's
a
why we have a
promise.
dead turtle on this little abode.
There was a dead turtle.
Actually,
now we
it's
got
a
a.
live one now, but it's one of those ugly
It's not
ones.
moving?
Oh, I thought it was a Triceratops. I can't see it. Oh, there.
Oh, no.
Hey, there you go.
That's called get
did you
in,
did
get
you
in my
finger
guard.
its head?
You can figure its head, but that's get in my guard turtle. Right? Get in my guard. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Right?
Holy shit.
And there's a fertile turtle.
The fertile turtle.
That is a
Right?
very happy
that
turtle.
rhymes.
I like
Fertile
that.
turtle.
Fertile Myrtle
like
the
that.
turtle.
Fertile Myrtle the turtle.
Right?
Holy that's
when
a lot.
when
to put
Adam
in
has
your
a
mouth.
turtle, he'll have to leave the room.
Oh, tell me more about
You
my
know,
turtle
just
that I
in
have
case.
no idea.
You might have a little poker.
Yeah, I have one right now.
Joey's always got
Trying
one
to put
poker.
that was gas, but it's not. Sorry.
I'm glad.
Okay.
I'm glad you didn't mess yourself
But different
up
than
there.
the raw salmon and tuna that
Oh.
we eat. Like
That's
that-
pokey.
Oh, poke
Yeah.
versus poke. What I did to the turtle, apparently.
Robert,
Poke.
how come in Hawaii we always say pokey and everybody else says poke? We
Is it pokey or poke?
say pokey.
What the
What do
fuck
you
do
say,
you
Robert?
put your left and your right foot in? What the fuck is that? And where can I order it in a number one?
Oh, are you talking about his
Hokey
his
pokey?
chunkless?
Yes.
Robert has some really fancy shoes on today, and I really admire them.
There you go.
Right? Are those nurses' corrective shoes? What do they call those? Clogs or
I
whatever?
think about him at Little Saigon
Right?
down the street.
Yeah, I dig it. He's
Honey, come over here.
he-
get some
Robert
shoes
is a
for you.
fashionista who often tells me what to wear. I like
wow,
that.
Joey. Pull up a chair. You need to be here.
Now, Joey had a Vietnamese girlfriend for 7 years, so give us some of that, Joe.
No, I can't. I can't tell you. That. Don't get me in trouble.
We love you,
Okay.
big boy. We love you. We love you, big boy.
Mindy.
You some young guy.
This is Hinojosa. We love you.
Kick your ass.
Oh, sorry, Mrs. Hinojosa.
She's a busting here now.
We still love the sitcom Pork and Mindy. It's all good.
Pork and Mindy.
We love it.
There you go.
You know Mork and Mindy from the 70s. Probably not, but you know. It used
Okay,
to be a
let's
show.
talk about her clothing line. Do we have
Hey,
any
this is
pictures,
the
or-
Obi-Wan Kenobi line coming out.
Oh, it's in
dig it.
It's in
development.
development.
Oh, okay.
In
Development.
development.
Okay.
It means it's secret. It is a secret.
Secret.
Oh, I love secrets.
We're all about
You
secrets.
guys will just have to wait and find
Okay.
out.
Ooh.
Okay, so, you know,
That's fair.
enough fun and games. I really have held myself through a whole entire dinner, through a drive over here, past Robert's house, up the dojo, waited for you to find out more about Zeta Zhang. Truly. And now we're on camera, so I have no excuses to hold back.
Okay.
Not that we were holding back when everybody came in, because it was funky.
Go for it.
But just tell me again, how did you get involved first and foremost in combat sports? Because I think that preceded your wrestling career.
Well, it was crazy because I actually didn't come from a sports background. I was born in the U.S., but my grandma took care of me growing up, and she only knew Chinese. So I didn't even know English until I was like really 6 years old. And she loved watching pro wrestling like WCW, WWF back in the day.
Wow.
And I would watch it with her.
Yeah.
So I got into it, but I didn't really understand what I was watching, so I didn't really know the difference between pro wrestling and amateur wrestling. So I was just like, man, this is what I want to do, but I just never believed that I could. Growing up, I was very shy art girl, got bullied a lot, so it was just never really on my mind that it was even a possibility. So then finally, when I kind of worked up the courage back in 8th grade to go and do some wrestling, I ended up being in a private boarding school, and the school wouldn't let me wrestle, saying that girls were not allowed to wrestle because it was like a military school. So I was there, never got to wrestle. Then finally, when I went off to college, I'm from Virginia, so I went off to college in Richmond, Virginia, which was rated like #1 murder city to live in back in the U.S. like in like late 90s, early 2000s. So when I got there
She's
in
right.
2007, it was still rated #4. And Richmond's like there's a lot of people there,
Sure.
but it's crammed in a really small space.
Okay.
So there's always stuff going on. And then my first year there, I went there like so naive, thinking nothing's going to happen to me. And then when I got close to like horrible situations where I was like trapped between 2 cars with 5 dudes in this dark alleyway where I could have gotten gang raped, but I was lucky I did not.
Whoa.
Like,
And they all
that
look like
was,
Adam there.
Oh no.
No?
It's a generalization, folks.
Well, Richmond, you know.
God,
Richmond, videz-vous.
Richmond, not a good place.
yeah. Richmond,
Trash
California,
back then.
or
Oh, there is a
both
Richmond,
bad.
California.
Yeah, they're both
true.
pretty.
You
So
know
don't
what?
move
I
anywhere like
Googled
that.
Richmond on Google, and then the thing that popped up on Urban Dictionary was like
Fuck
a
this
place for high murder. It's like, good luck, it'll be your last if you visit.
Really?
You'll get shot.
It's like a Rob Zombie like trailer movie or some shit. Like
Adam always says that he grew up in Inglewood, and I don't think Inglewood can even touch Richmond, Virginia.
I don't think, or Richmond, California, for that matter.
What's the murder rate in Inglewood, or growing up especially?
Oh, growing up, man, I would say within like 5 square blocks of where I grew up, I would say at least 2 murders a week.
Gunshots all
Yeah,
the time?
Yeah, absolutely.
You go to bed with that?
My
So it's true.
no, yeah,
I can't
absolutely.
dispel the
No,
rumors.
I
So
mean,
you both grew up
on
rough.
Oak and Queen Street, which I mean, if you're familiar with the area, that was a very like blood type deal. And I came Fiji, the Bay Area, Indiana, Georgia, Las Vegas, all of that, and I had no conception of like gang culture.
The hood.
And then you get dropped right in the
Yeah.
middle of it.
Yeah.
I was 9. I remember my mom sending me to when you could still do this, like sending me to the store to get her cigarettes or whatever, give me a $10 bill and whatever, and like not but a block away,
Yeah.
like I was literally put with a gun like that. It's like,
Oh
give
my
me your
gosh.
money. They call it a pocket check or whatever. It wasn't so much the fact that the money was taken, but I had a wallet going kind of like video gamey. The only thing that I had through all the travels was this Nintendo wallet, and they stole that. And
Oh,
that-
man. They stole
I
your
had-
heart.
Yeah, I had that since like kindergarten, 1st grade, and
I
whatever.
can't
was about-
believe those suckers.
Yeah, so
You nerd.
fuck, man.
Right? No,
Yeah.
I love that about him, though. He's honest.
Yeah, but
Everything he talks about is all heart. That's one thing
I mean,
about
I
Adam
grew up in the
Woods.
hood too, man. But you know, you had about 10,000 of your cousins.
Yeah,
behind
I was
you.
going to say, but the gang members were your relatives. So
That's
they
pretty
don't-
much, you couldn't
know.
get robbed by your own
Yeah,
relatives.
it's
my neighbor.
different.
You hear shotguns and all that fire
Right?
all day. Yeah, I get it.
I get it, yeah. You were clear.
I was there, but you always had like a dead body in the alleyway down the street.
Yeah.
You know,
They
some of you
called
knew.
them the alley boys.
I was never the alley.
The lopers.
I was always Santa Anita all day.
There you go. Joe, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So, from Virginia, or Richmond, Virginia,
yeah,
Yeah,
you were
so
bullied.
it was like just really unsafe, and I was fearing for my life. So
Mm-hmm.
I ended up deciding to do something for self-defense, and I ended up picking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because
What a
it was the
pick.
closest thing to wrestling.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then through that, I ended up doing MMA and got tricked into my first MMA fight, and then I just fell in love with it. And then after that, I
Tricked
went-
into it.
Yeah, tricked into
I don't
it.
believe that. She's tough. I've seen her legs. She can
That's
cut
what
down
I'm saying.
trees.
Nah.
She got calves for days. She could cut down a redwood tree. I'm telling you. The truth. Someone else saw that in her and knew she would kick some legs out.
Yeah, my coach was like, I had to take a fight on 3 weeks' notice, and I had to go up a weight class because this was back in like 2007, 2008.
Right.
And
So how do you
I
do that?
know-
You eat burgers? How do you go up?
Oh, I can gain weight easy.
Really?
I gained
find that
all
hard to
that
believe.
weight. I went from 122 to 132 within 3 weeks.
Wow.
Whoa.
And you were
Yeah.
working hard the whole time, so you really had to add calories.
Oh, I can eat.
Yeah.
I can eat.
Lot of
In the car, I
fun,
told
ramen
you I
noodles.
am like a secret foodie.
Yep.
If I wasn't doing all the stuff I'd be doing, man, my life would be different right now.
Not
Damn.
we'd still be
I
eating
love
chicken
food.
katsu. It's all good. We just pounded.
Love food.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that. That's a good thing. It's hard to find a girl that can eat. And
Oh,
she
I
just
eat.
put it away. Right?
Oh, you know,
Pickled radishes.
back in high school,
Yeah.
I would knock people out of the way during lunchtime because I was trying to get to my food fast.
I like that.
Fast food, right on.
Speaks to my heart.
No, but I used to date a girl that loved to eat until she started dating my girl cousin.
Oh,
Wait,
you
what?
had that?
Oh wait. Oh, so different type of taco.
Yeah,
Not that
Did
there's
that,
anything
did that
wrong
hurt
with
your
that.
feelings? Or were you okay with
Pride
I
Week.
was okay with it. Like, she kept it in the family. It's all good.
it? Oh. Did you go back and forth?
Wait.
No.
No? You didn't let her cross the street and come back?
The way that I read that is like, like Eskimo. I don't even know if you would call it brothers, but that's the image
That's
that
more
I read.
Inuit than Eskimo.
Yeah.
Right?
Inuit?
They're Inuit. They're even further north.
And,
You
now
bar-
they're married.
You barely made
They're-
it across the
They're
Bering
married
Strait.
with each other?
Yeah.
Oh, good job. Mazel tov.
Yeah.
And
Did she
I mean,
ever find that flavor of Joe still in
Well,
there?
it wasn't because of me. It's just that she probably said, you know what, hey, I like the women a lot better. So
Oh.
it is what it is. It happens.
Well, that's a great story. I really like that. Producer Robert's coming forward. I don't know. Nothing? Okay, he's just checking the camera. But Joe, I like that. You never shared that one with us. You're an open book. I like that.
Yes, I am.
Amazing.
he's tearing
That's
up.
interesting.
He
That's
does tear
awesome.
up quite easy. He's been on my show before.
He's not Lionel Richie. It's not like Sunday morning or anything.
It is,
Fuck
yeah.
it.
It's easy
Yeah,
like
it ain't
Sunday
easy.
morning.
Pimpin' ain't easy? What are we, godfathering? I mean, we have one wrestler here. Holy shit.
Joey's a wrestling announcer.
Yeah, this is true.
extraordinaire.
Yes, I
Yeah.
am.
And I appreciate
This
his
motherfucker's
skills.
over.
If anybody out there has not Googled the Jim Crasher grand opening for our dojo in the tournament, the 5-on-5, Joe is the announcer extraordinaire for our event. Adam didn't make it to the event. I think he was out doing his thing, but next time.
I do things.
But check it
apparently.
out. Google it. The matches are all up there, and Joe's voice is the voice of God.
And you
The
can
voice of
hire me
reason.
for anything, for wrestling shows, bar mitzvahs, divorce parties, strip clubs. I could do it all.
Wow.
Even at the swap meet, I could say, pasale, pasale, uno, go, Sprite,
It's good, dude.
$1.
I think I can see a soccer
Ah.
promotion hiring you.
No.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
Only, that's only Spanish I know, bro.
Yeah, you do good.
Unfortunately.
You do good.
Hey, kayfabe, kid, kayfabe.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
I know everything.
Yeah,
Kayfabe.
absolutely. Tope suicida, una caída, fuck it.
Who's
That's
this
it.
guy? I
Yeah.
think your wife was
Mucho
Filipino.
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is. I don't know how this relates, but
Oh.
anyway.
You speak a lot of Spanish. They
Yeah.
teach you that in Inglewood?
Yeah, pretty much. I watched a shit ton of Lucha Libre, so
All right.
yeah, that's it.
Groovy.
Have you ever dated Spanish men?
Ooh, personal.
I'm glad he went
She's-
there.
I'm just asking her.
I look guilty when I ask those questions.
You
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
See, I love it.
What do you?
That little.
Thank you, Joe.
What do you mean? I guess.
I mean, I wouldn't really say it was a date. It
Oh,
was,
hit it and quit it. I get it now.
Oh.
Is there an extended cut to the Xavier Woods?
No.
Oh,
it was seeing someone regularly, but not really official.
okay.
Oh, I like that. At least it
Okay.
was regularly, not once.
It's kind of like Vince's booking.
What do you say, Tim
I
Webster?
said that.
Tim Webster's
I said
watching us. He's one of our viewers. What is?
He enjoys watching this nude. This is nude.
He's
Nude?
watching all three of us nude. This is an ice cream sandwich because the two dark patties on the outside and the lighter vanilla in the middle.
There you go. Yeah, there
Sorry,
you go.
Adam's wife, but you know.
You guys look like a big old bowl of pho.
Yeah, it could be.
What?
Are you trying
Like
to say?
BHO?
Well, she's the noodle.
I'm
he's
well.
like-
I'm well cooked tri-tip.
and he's
That's burnt brisket.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll allow it.
and
This
I'll
shit
be
is like
and I'll
Judge
be your
Mills Lane.
chopstick girl.
Damn,
That was good. That was
that's
good.
the beefiest fucking chopsticks I've ever seen. I like it.
That
I
is
like
the
it.
whole bowl.
Hell yes.
That is a big bowl of rice.
So you were mentioning that you were watching wrestling with your grandma. Do you remember, especially the fact that you mentioned WCW? Do you remember some of the people that you dug during that time?
It's a good question. I like that.
I don't.
inspiration? Where does it
The
come
only
from?
thing I remember back then was that she loved Hulk Hogan. So I watched Hulk Hogan mostly because of
Okay.
her.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, brother.
Oh, until the fucking
remember
jailhouse
Undertaker.
confessions came out, and then he's.
But wait, what about you, buddy? Is that the same for you? Because Joe gave us the thumbs up. That's his guy too.
Fuck Hulk Hogan. That's my deal. But
Really? Not because of what you know now. Then were you inspired?
No. I mean, my in was Bret Hart, Randy Savage, and I was born in '85. So the
so you're
first
way
time
ahead
that I
of it.
saw wrestling was Saturday Night's Main Event, sometime in August of '87. I was 2. So most
You
people are
remember
like,
being 2?
Yeah, I remember wrestling. Yeah,
You drink a lot of kava and you remember being 2. Because
Pretty
I don't
much.
remember being
Yeah.
Probably
2.
smashed with
And
the
Jack
coconuts.
Daniels.
Right?
So
I remember being
if you
2.
got free Jack Daniels, I'm
That's
your
amazing.
guy. Get it down in the DMs. But anyway,
Really? You drank Jack Daniels when you're 2?
fuck yeah, dude. I'm a whiskey guy.
Jesus.
Anyway, yeah,
I thought like
So
a
really?
Cavazier or a 40 ounce of Old E.
Well,
that's a fucking generalization, Joey. What the fuck? I don't drink 40s. Damn it.
Are you trying to say he looks like other people in Richmond? I mean Inglewood?
Only in Inglewood.
They drink that in Richmond too.
There you go. There you
All
go.
in the paper
See?
bags.
Paper bag.
See?
Yep.
Dude,
He's got one in his
paper
car.
bag, paper bag patrol. Like the Job Squad? Like
Yeah.
yeah. Instead of like Undertaker's Druids with the fucking torches and shit like that, it'd just be people with paper bags, like homeless dressed. Or they could be hipsters. I don't know. They all reek of patchouli. But anyway, and other sentiments. But anyway.
So we got Randy Savage, we got Hulk Hogan. Tell me about you, buddy.
You know what?
Since you're here.
Hogan was, you know,
Is that your
at the time,
entryway?
He was, and then after that, of course, Macho Man. Then you had, you had what's his name? Junkyard Dog was my favorite growing up,
Fuck
and
yeah.
Coco Beware, because the fact that, and you had Tito Santana, because there were men of like color.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
the fact that you have Tito Santana, Coco Beware, Junkyard Dog, they were men of like different race. Because typically when you watch wrestling, it was more of like a Caucasian style sport.
Yeah.
But when
Got
you
it.
had like Junkyard Dog, you know, doing his thing, dancing, Coco Beware doing the bird dance.
Yeah, with
and-
Frankie.
And then Tito Santana as being the big, you know, matador later on in the future. I mean,
Yeah, I was about to say, like, he started out as like a white hot baby face, and they were like, "Fuck this shit. We need to sell toys. You're a matador."
But besides that, before we forget, guys, I'd like to give a big shout out to Our Life CBD.
That's right.
And
Hell yes.
Cauliflower Nation, our sponsors.
Boom. Chris Crail. And our boy, I know, that was a mouthful. Chris Crail with Cauliflower Nation. And Sean Lerma, of course. with
Hi,
Our
Chris
Life.
Crail. I still have your T-shirt.
Whoa.
From what?
Oh,
Anyway,
hey.
Stories, huh?
Yeah.
Tea time.
Don't tell me he was that Spanish guy.
I used to live in California. Like right before I moved out for WWE, I was living in California.
Okay.
And so I was doing MMA out here and met Chris, and Chris gave me one of his shirts.
Very
so,
cool.
Yeah.
There you go. See,
There we go.
There's an
I
endorsement.
can't pull a fast one on her. man.
Connected.
She's
Yeah,
very
man.
connected. It's awesome.
Well, if she ever needs a bodyguard, you know, to come to.
That's right.
The Bulls in the
There
house.
you go.
That's right. I always said if somebody tries to shoot us up, they're going to have to shoot through jokes. I'm going to hide right behind.
I was gonna say he's like the bad luck Fale of OCCW.
Nah.
What?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 10 points.
All right. Back on track. Grandma is a Hulk Hogan fan. You become a Hulk Hogan fan just by default.
Yeah.
But what inspires you?
Well, I just knew I wanted to do wrestling, but because I was never able to and never thought I was ever going to get a call from WWE, I was just like, all right, let me do MMA. And the crazy thing was through MMA, it came full circle, and I ended up getting referred to WWE and had a tryout out there. And Orlando ended up getting through, and that's when I was like, oh my gosh, I finally get to chase my childhood dream that I never thought was ever possible. I had just put it out of my mind for so long, thinking I would never have the opportunity. So finally, when I did, it's basically just being myself.
Yeah.
Is the
I can
most
see that.
important thing. Is being myself, doing what I want to do with wrestling and trying to inspire at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So during my Mae Young Classic tournament, it was really nice because when we had people come interview us, it was just right on the spot. And we had no idea what was going to be asked of us. And everything was just right on the spot. And so they asked about my background and everything like that. And it was just really I told them about, my upbringing and just being bullied and stuff. And after that was released, it was just really nice to get messages from fans saying that they feel like they can relate and feel like it's helped them get through hard times. And I was just like, that's really what wrestling is about. It's like you have a character that you relate with, even though I didn't understand at the time. I didn't even know English at the time when I started watching wrestling. I just thought, kayfabe was not dead for me. It was not dead even up until right before my tryout, honestly.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So the funny thing is, when I was training for it, I was training it was basically my MMA training. I did all wrestling training with Kenny Johnson, and then I went to a strength and conditioning gym, and then my regular gym. And when I was at the strength and conditioning gym, my coaches there were like, "What are you training for? You got a fight coming up?" I was like, "No, I actually have a tryout coming up." They're like, "What tryout?" I was like, "WWE." He goes, "Oh, there's a pro wrestling gym down the street, right?" I was like, "What? They have pro wrestling gyms?"
Hell yeah.
I thought you had to be like an Olympic wrestler or like some type of amateur wrestler to be able to do this, because after all, like, I got in because my MMA.
Right,
Awesome.
absolutely.
So I thought it was because my MMA background that, I was like, oh, okay, she does some wrestling. So I thought that was what it was. I was training like regular wrestling.
It's awesome.
And then next thing you know, that gym was Brian Kendrick's school, Santino Brothers.
Wow.
So I trained there for about like 2 months and two and a half months. And then I went through a tryout and got through, and that started my pro wrestling career.
That's a good career so far. So I like that story, and
Yeah.
especially how it came together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seldom do we hear about the stars aligning, right? And they
Right.
kind of just lined up through hard work and perseverance, and you had a direction, and it just fell together.
Yeah, I never thought it was possible. It literally was just out of my mind at this point.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I was like, what? I get to try out for it? Sure, let me do amateur wrestling. And I was like, wait, what? There's pro wrestling gyms?
Wow.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
It's an awesome thing.
And was there a formal class? Well, let's get into like who Brian Kendrick is. This is a gentleman who
School us.
moved from the Pacific Northwest, ended up moving to San Antonio to be trained by his idol, the great Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, right? And he's had 2 runs. He's actually in the WWE now, but he is also through his school via Santino Brothers. Has kind of raised the 4 horsemen in terms of Shayna Baszler,
Ronda Rousey.
Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir. He's pretty much the go-to guy in terms of anybody of celebrity. I think even Maria Menounos for her WrestleMania runs, she went there, of Extras fame. So he's become like the best kept secret in terms of a player coach that the WWE has outside of their performance center. Because obviously you've got like William Regal and Robbie Brookside, Norman Smiley, or what have you. But if you want to work away from it, and especially on the West Coast, Brian Kendrick and Santino Brothers are pretty much the thing. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah, purely by accident. Like, that strength and conditioning gym was literally 1 block from the place.
Wow.
I literally walked there. I was like, okay, let me check it out.
Wow.
There it was. It
So
was meant to be.
So how was that initial experience in terms of like taking bombs and like learning the mechanics? Because obviously it's different than MMA considerably, where you would probably not pull a punch with MMA. You have to do that.
Took some transitioning for sure. I feel
Right.
bad for my training partner that was there. I kept smashing her face over and
That's
over
what
with the
you knew.
headlock takeover. I felt so bad because I'm so used to the judo style
Right.
of a takeover. So
Right.
I put all my weight on her face many times. Luckily, she was my roommate and we were really cool with each other, so it was fine. But, it took some times. I was stiff in the beginning, and then I ended up being too light because I was worried about hurting people, and now I'm finding that happy medium. But it definitely took some adjusting. There's a lot of moves that's almost exactly the same, but then it would just be like a few degrees of an angle
Right.
different.
Wow.
And that's what is the hardest thing. And also just, movement and everything. Having to get up to your right is very hard for me because I'm so used to pushing off my dominant leg, which is my
Right.
right leg,
Right.
which means I'd be going to the left. So I'll be told, go to the right, and my brain is like, go to the right, but then my body's like, go to the left. I was like, no.
Wow.
Muscle memory.
So it took so long, like trying to get certain moves, but then other moves, it was easy to get because it was similar enough where I was able to, do those moves. So it's really been strange, like a journey trying to figure that out. And even the whole mental aspect is very different. There's a lot more to think about with pro wrestling.
It's a
Have to think
character,
about
right?
Other people.
But you got to build your character, who you are, to the world, right? But
That
it seems
too,
like
yeah.
you truly are who you are, though. Zeda Zhang
Yeah,
is Zeda Zhang.
I feel like I don't really have a character. I'm just
You.
myself.
I love that.
Like,
No, I believe it.
yeah, because my background is so vast. It's hard for me to just pinpoint and be like, this is me, because it's not just one thing.
Yeah.
It's really everything that makes me who I am. And if I cut something out, then it really wouldn't be me.
Mm-hmm.
So all I can do is just be myself and hope that people get it, hope that people can stand behind it. But the overall theme, I guess, which I honestly really just realized it, like maybe only a couple weeks ago when I had a meeting with this clothing company.
Dig it.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't realize it, but I guess really the thing that drives me is just being told I can't. Just my background of always being bullied, being told I can't. That's what was the whole reason why I do the things I do, is always to prove people wrong. It was, I guess I'm kind of vengeful. Kind of vengeful. So
I
I'm
dig
just
it.
like, oh, you said I can't? Well, fuck you. I'm going to do it anyways. Like,
There?
and prove to you that I can.
I bet you can't drink 12 beers after the show. I'm messing with you.
Wow. Maybe.
No, I totally agree with what she says. I remember growing up
No,
as a kid.
totally.
Growing up as a kid, I came from a big line of a lot of females in my family.
I could never tell.
And a lot of them were either cooks, hairstylists, makeup artists. And
you're all
me
three.
as a dude, I learned how to cook. 2, I believe it or not, a little secret. You guys knew about this, but I did study a little cosmetology.
Oh, I could
And
tell.
did-
I saw your hair the past 2 weeks, and now there's none left.
I know, I just
So I know you were doing some cosmetology at home.
And of course, growing up in the neighborhood, I grew up in, it was kind of looked upon like, hey, bro, like don't let people know about that, or else you
Right.
get your ass beat because you're gonna be known as a little,
Right? Little Flacco.
There you go.
Come here, little Flacco.
And I'll surprise people sometimes.
Come
Is
here.
that what it's called?
A lot of people
skinny
would
little
assume
guy.
that
He's
I don't
a
know how to
skinny
do
little
makeup,
guy.
and I do it, and I show them like, hey, I can give you a smoky eye, I can do your hair, I can do whatever I can. And because
What'd
people
you say?
said I can't, I
You
can
can
do
get you smoke and do your hair?
it.
What'd
A
you
little
say?
smoky
Hey.
eye.
Oh, smoky eye. That's how you
Smoky
sold
eye.
weed. I get you smoke.
Well,
I'm
that
like,
too, you know what I'm saying?
You
So,
know, saying it.
no, I hear what you're saying. People say I can't, I can do it, dude. I
That's good.
I
Damn
never
right.
I
back
believe
down
that.
from any challenge.
There
Oh.
you go.
That's
It's
good.
basically, yeah.
You already
I
lost
see it
half a
as
person, so
fuel.
I believe you, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're on the roll right now.
Eating
Right?
rolls.
Yeah. No, you're not eating rolls anymore, man. You're doing your thing.
Damn.
You're doing
Right
some
on.
magic. And I do like the new hairstyle. It's something different for
I
you,
miss
buddy.
my dyed hair.
Well, it was something else. I saw a younger Joe for a couple weeks, and then he just went right back.
Well, 2 weeks ago, I actually dyed my hair pitch black, and people were like, "Are you wearing a wig, bro?" I'm like, "Oh God!" And I had a little fluff going on, a little wave curl going on, and
Puerto Rican Jericho.
yeah.
Well, you
Puerto
could
Rican jerk.
you could have did it gradual, but he went jet black one day, and I was like, what the Does he have another brother?
Yeah, didn't let anyone know.
It's all good, man.
Anyway.
Looking good. Good stories.
So, what did that initial training class at Kendrick's look like? Any names of note that might be
I like
covering the indie scene right now?
The people that were there was Eli Everfly.
Oh yes, him and one half of Doomfly.
Yeah.
Him and Delilah Doom. So shout out to those two.
Douglas James.
Yeah, relentless one.
And
I love your
there's
knowledge.
a few other people. Kyoto?
Oh yes, Kyoto Hero, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Guy
Chaz.
Guy Cool?
Oh, I know Guy Cool.
yeah.
Cool. Guy Cool. Chaz. No, Chaz. The
Yeah.
study
Yeah,
buddies.
Yeah, Herrera.
Oh, I know the
Yeah.
study
Yeah.
buddies.
They were all there. Katie Forbes came in a few times.
The significant other of one Rob Van Dam. So there's that.
What about Sean Black?
Sean Black.
Sean Black
who?
was like 2010.
We can't talk
No.
about that person on this show.
Well, not the other person in here.
Sean
Yeah.
Brown? Yeah, I heard of him.
Sean Black is he was in the same class as Mariah Moreno, the bloodthirsty vixen, and I met them way back in 2010 when they were doing like security for what is it, Wrestle Reunion at the LAX Hilton. So
All right.
yeah, weird stuff.
It's amazing how entwined you are. And now I meet a new person
He's
that's
very, very
entwined
knowledgeable.
but in
Very
MMA
knowledgeable.
and in pro wrestling. You know?
Yeah,
There's similarities.
it
The
really
same
is. I
thing
had
that-
no idea.
This
that-
has become a pro wrestling MMA show. It wasn't meant to be that way, but it's evolved.
Yeah,
And,
well,
and
like-
you brought it back because we told him
Absolutely.
last week.
So
We'll talk about
thank
this
you.
shit
Yeah,
no more.
Absolutely.
And here we go right into it. He's like, "Oh, I'm back.
Yeah, but
I'm
Look
back."
at his T-shirts.
Yeah,
Exactly. Oh, those are rock hard raisins.
Yes, they are. I can see them right here, bro.
Hey, those
You know
are.
what?
Somebody
Thinking now.
overcooked those raisins,
Jesus Christ.
right?
What are we making
Charcoal.
horchata or something?
Like
Charcoal
little
cheese.
milk duds.
10
All
points
right.
right on.
Oh,
Hell yes.
yeah.
I got chocolate milk. He got charcoal.
He got milk
Charcoal.
duds going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking A.
Poor Woods, I torture the man.
But okay, here's the thing.
Getting back to Richmond.
What we know as like EBI or no-gi jiu-jitsu,
Yes.
that's what George Hackenschmidt and Frank Gotch were doing at the turn of the century as pro wrestling. Like people would
You mean
line
99
arenas.
to 2000, not
No,
1901.
1900s. The
Oh,
same time.
You mean the other turn of the century?
were there too?
Well, yeah. I
Well,
mean,
every century kind
Right.
of turns, right?
yeah, but we haven't been
Like
around
the
that
sounds
long.
of the fucking hourglass, right?
That's right.
Days of our lives and
How
shit.
long could it have been going on, though?
Stefano Demira.
What? Yogi Berra?
Stefano from Days of Our Life.
Oh, okay.
So I watch soap operas too.
Oh,
back
my
then.
God. He
Okay.
was raised with all sisters. He does hair. He does nails.
Never. No,
Hey.
well,
My nails.
Which,
they're
which funny
matching.
enough, like
Yeah.
like all I know is a sister, so I don't know what the fuck.
You see? He can do a weave like no other.
unweavable. Unbelievable.
Oh, that's unbelievable. No, fuck
It's
no.
Braid your
unbelievable.
hair.
Oh, hell no.
Can you braid
Unbelievable.
hair?
What
Oh, I bet he
Do
can.
no, that's one thing I can never do is braid hair.
Braiding hair is hard.
I mean, it was so difficult that like Omarion or Mario or whoever the fuck actually made a song
song
about
about
it.
it, yeah, 'cause
Come
it's
on, braid
hard.
hair. Yeah, like you get in the D if you can braid my hair. Like that was essentially
Wow.
paraphrasing it.
What's
that's
the
what
D?
happened.
I don't get it.
Nuts.
Well, it's like that old song. You remind me of my Jeep. You remind me
your
of
Jeep?
my Jeep. Remember that old R&B? My
Cheap,
Jeep.
cheap,
R.
cheap.
Kelly.
Okay.
Cheap.
Yeah, R. Kelly. That guy can never be mentioned on that show. We mentioned Sean Black. We're not gonna fucking.
Well, because his mind's telling no and his body's telling yes.
Robert listens to R. Kelly still.
Or hey, consent is always sexy, Joey. So
Says who?
I'm just saying. I'm advocating. That's what that looks like.
Oh,
this
wow.
This is from Dark Diggler.
Yeah.
Did he always get consent?
What the fuck? Mad Attack.
Or did he Cosby people?
Cosby. Oh,
Oh,
no.
wow.
Hell no.
Oh
Fuck that
man,
guy.
I watched that show all the time.
I
growing
dig that
up.
show still.
Dude. Okay, my wife and I.
Lisa
get
Bonet is
in-
so cool. She's married to Aquaman.
I mean, I still watch Roseanne.
Right.
Old Roseanne's. They're
Right.
funnier than shit. Regardless of what she said, whatever, but I still watch Roseanne.
you do.
Yeah, I
I
love
bet,
Roseanne.
bet you think she's hot,
Oh, no.
right? Isn't she the Where's the Beef girl from the commercials?
No. Oh, my
That's
God.
not her. Where's the
Where's
beef?
the beef?
Where's
You're
the
like,
beef?
You're like way in the other
That
side of the
sounds
planet.
really
Where's the beef?
inappropriate.
Yeah, I know.
Joey said it's in the
So
mirror.
there
I
was
asked
a
him where the
line.
beef was. It's
This
in the
shit is
mirror.
like a TNA commercial. Like,
It's in the
welcome to
mirror.
Cross the Line. You fucking crossed it.
I
Holy
made
shit.
the line, buddy.
You are the line?
I made the line.
All right, Johnny Cash.
That's right.
Talk about lines.
I would be
Anybody got
Johnny
one?
No Cash. Johnny Credit Card.
Johnny Credit Card. Holy shit. Because he's a 20th century video boy.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Don't know how to
Only
read,
black
but he got a lot of
cards.
toys.
That's right. Only black cards for Adam.
What?
When you said to me, I was just like,
That's how it goes.
Black cards or gold slabs.
Whoa.
oh, wow.
I guess.
We'll
That's
talk.
weird.
We'll talk
Gold
numbers later.
slabs.
Whoa, slabs.
I'm scared. I think I might have created a little bit of chocolate pudding in my pants after you.
It's all about racks,
That
baby.
was
All
like
about racks.
really assertive.
You're
That
put-
brought back memories of like grappling in Bakersfield, and I got like judo throwed.
And you
My-
chocolate pudding your pants?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You were putting
My-
it where it doesn't belong?
Oh well, here's the thing. So guess what? Her name is Julia Avila, and she's fighting in the UFC. So I don't feel so bad.
Oh, that girl slammed you?
Yeah. Oh God.
Wow.
There was actually grappling back in the day in Bakersfield. They weren't like packing oranges and stuff like that.
Packing oranges.
That's a generalization. Actually, they were
Packing
cutting the heads
cattle.
off a chicken because that's what they do.
Santeria.
Yeah. I ain't got no crystal ball,
Had $1 million.
but I wouldn't spend it all. Fuck yeah.
What kind of show is this?
Damn.
what
Okay,
we
that
do.
was very.
Why did
on
we get
sync.
off the tracks like this?
Oh, yes. We
That
do
was
shit.
pretty
You guys
good.
gonna sing to each other all night?
Right?
Hey.
It's a serenade.
We'll get you a
That's different
a
than a
closed room
castrato
here.
because my voice is very deep.
Tell me about
And
castrato.
she'll get
again.
us in the karaoke bar right away.
Damn right.
Wait, do you know that?
That was racist.
Aww. Aww.
No, sorry, I don't fit the stereotypical Asian.
Tell her what
That
she
sucks.
can't do, and she will do
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
You don't remember the psychology?
Yeah.
Well, she can drive.
Let's tell her what she can't do. She can't.
Don't
pro
kick my
wrestle.
ass. I'm just
Damn
joking.
right,
I'm
I
just
can
joking.
drive.
I'm just joking.
Damn right.
Just gonna hop over that
Never
table.
gotten in a single accident. Knock on wood. This is not
shit.
wood.
Is that
Don't
wood?
say that next to him because he
but
almost
he's-
died.
Yeah, no shit.
Him and Blake Troop in a car hit by a train.
By a train? How
Something
did that
like that.
happen?
A train full of
You know,
cars.
If
Blake
the
Troop.
goes down, it means don't go.
Do you know Blake Troop?
But he doesn't know what that means.
I
He
don't
always
know
crosses the
him
barrier.
To that extent, I know him, yeah. But
So-
I've never been in a car with him.
So the first half of it was me Kaplan, and Troop going to the Ultimate Fighter finale, and
Vegas.
going to the UFC Performance Institute, and meeting Justine Kish, and she was like, "Yeah, the first time like Blake drove me out here, I thought I was gonna die."
oh, gosh.
Was he the
Never
driver?
been in a
You,
car with him.
Yeah, but he actually saved our life in this time, in this particular
he
instance.
After
became your
risked
human
it.
seatbelt?
Shh, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story, damn it. Fuck.
Sorry, Blake. Never getting in a car with you.
We love that guy.
He rides a motorcycle now.
Definitely
me
not
worry
getting
even
on a
more.
motorcycle with you. That's definite.
Don't knock
bet.
it until you try it, damn it.
Have you been on the back of Blake's motorcycle?
No.
He has.
Love that.
No, but I'm putting that shit over.
Look at his face. He has.
Well, what did you hold on to while you were on the back of that motorcycle? Was it?
His helmet.
Well,
Which one?
His waist.
Face.
I got to see this. Adam Woods on the
His
back of a
hips.
rice rocket with
His
Blake
do
Troop.
fucking
When
lie.
I dip
They dip, you dip. I was about to say, you
This
put your
is
hand in the
degenerated.
palm of his
That's how you ride a motorcycle with someone. You gotta move.
Yeah, dip.
Your motion, like you
That's
gotta-
what he does in his
Is that-
car.
Were you,
Yeah.
were you at least 25% chub?
Is that?
What's
Robert's got some background
What?
music for us.
Pornhub
Apparently-
over there? What's going on?
Something about hernias. I
Apparently,
think.
we're giving grandma's herpes. That's what I got from that 30
I
seconds.
think he's checking on his hernia mesh. I think that hurts people.
the hernia.
The mesh
I
that they
think it
shove
said
up there.
hernia.
Oh, the vaginal mesh.
Yeah, the mesh.
That's weird.
It's a meshy subject,
Damn.
right?
It's a meshy subject.
It is.
Damn.
He put it on, not me. Don't blame me.
Don't
Anyway.
look at me. Why did everybody look at me?
I mean, I'm kind of curious about this vaginal mesh. What is that?
Tell us about it, Robert.
It catches the bad fish.
Oh, it does. Fish?
like a minnow?
What kind of fish are we talking about?
The
Like
sea,
did-
the sea. The, you know,
Is it those
The
ones?
s- The sea otters?
the
is it
ones
the-
that wiggle?
The ones that wiggle.
The fish you put
Like
in a bucket
Norman
and clean your
Smiley?
feet?
The big wiggle?
Jesus Christ. Never mind. She gets it.
She does get it. Oh, the swimmers.
The
swimmers.
Thank you.
Oh, like the little kid Pampers?
No, you got to be 1 in a million to make it. So every one of us is 1 in a million. We're good
Chance of a
swimmers.
lifetime.
So if you don't get in the ocean, you're chicken shit because you made it past a million other swimmers. You don't like the water, do you?
Fuck
I don't
no.
like water.
I get my
knew
hair
it.
wet and it's frizzy.
Oh,
I
I
look
gotta
like
see
fucking
this.
Al Sharpton.
I got to see this
in
guy.
the 70s, though.
I got to see this guy turn into Prince when he hits the ocean. I got to see this.
You'll see doves cry like a
No,
motherfucker.
this is him in the alpha water.
You know, same thing. Same fucking thing. Yeah, man. So, in terms of wrestling and MMA, what did you learn about yourself in each instance, and where do you think that you would be better suited? Like as a fighter, as a pro wrestler, what is Zeda Zhang at this point, at this juncture in 2019, consider yourself more? Because you've obviously been versed in two separate things, but they're kind of relatable. But when people are like, "Hey, I remember you," what would you like them to kind of?
I would say pro wrestling's probably the best fit for me because even when I was doing MMA, I was doing other things. I was doing things that was entertainment related. I was doing acting, modeling, dance, music. So all that, it was really hard to try and juggle 5, 6 different things all the time. But I guess it was just I've always wanted to do entertainment, but then the childhood part of me was like, oh, I want to do wrestling. So I was always trying to do everything because I didn't even know that pro wrestling existed. I just thought it was amateur wrestling. Like I said, kayfabe was not dead for me, so I really did not know.
Now, quick question. I'm not sure if you're under contract, but have you been approached by AEW?
No.
Okay.
When they blew up, I was in China on my first Asian tour.
Oh, jeez.
So
That's
I was
so
out
awesome.
there, and then I was out there for 3 months, a long time. I was out there for 3 months with OWE, and then I came back for a month, and then I did a little East Coast to West Coast tour because I was really moving. I was moving out here to the West Coast.
That's a pretty
There
cool
you go.
tour.
So I did that, and then I spent another 2 weeks. So basically, out of that month, 2 weeks just packing, unpacking, getting stuff done. So I was really only on the scene for like 2 weeks at most, and then I went back out for my second Asian tour. And I literally just got back 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow.
So I've been out there for a month and a half, and then I'm leaving again in end of August for
Nice.
another month and a half. So I feel like I need to be more present in the U.S. I did notice that me being gone for so long, people tend to forget about you because entertainment industry, 1 month is a long time,
Yes.
much less than 3 months. So being gone for too long is not really good for my market here in the U.S. But at the same time, I want to build my market in Asia because when I was in WWE, even though I was the first Chinese American signed there,
The heck,
they don't
that's so huge.
they don't promote that though.
Love
That
that.
sucks.
Yeah, they don't care about Chinese American.
Still a
like-
great statistic, though.
That's
So-
that's a travesty.
So it's just kind of
You
like,
still own
okay, if
Love
I
it.
am not going to be promoted for being Chinese American, then screw it, I'm going to go over to Asia and take my title. So I
Right
went
on.
out there to become the first Chinese American wrestler out of all of Asia. So after getting that, I'm like, you know what? I want to be here and help develop pro wrestling out there because it's still very new. They still
Right.
don't really know what they're doing. So I'm working with a few companies out there trying to help push it out. And hopefully within the next few years, it'll be big enough out there.
Absolutely.
You
well,
might be
I
onto
mean,
something. There's 1 billion people over there. There's a bigger market for everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is
And-
going to be Zeda offering us all kind of money to do crazy things one day. Who knows?
Yeah, that, I
That's
mean
the
that's a
plan.
very distinct possibility. And then when you look at the last All Elite Wrestling show, there was a featured match with what is it?
OWE.
OWE from China. That wrestled, I think it was SoCal Uncensored in the first in the opening match. So it's not like when you look at the production value, it's very much it's very high quality production that OWE
They
has.
create that. That's what Asia does. Like everything's bigger, brighter, louder, right?
Right.
They're really
Their
big on
production's
production.
amazing.
Right. So, I mean, you don't get to be the first twice. So the fact that you're kind of setting inroads in that,
huge.
I mean, that's almost like what Rikidozan did in Japan, like in the 50s, you know? So that's really cool. And then that option to come back to North America is still there because, again, there's a working relationship, you know, whether it be like TNA. I think Sonny Ono was just here with Kazuyashi doing a tryout
Yeah,
for
he
Wrestle
was.
One.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, it's there everywhere is scouting talent. I think one thing that the WWE and other promotions have kind of done is really featured, you know, different wrestlers from different caliber. You know, I mean, there's a whole WWE UK brand that's
Yeah.
that, you know, so you don't have to be from California to make it. You know, actually, sometimes it's looked at as a little bit of a backstep if you're from California and you're in the WWE because there's a certain je ne sais quoi. So with that being said, I mean, you're going to land in the best place scenario because, I mean, everybody has this insatiable appetite for wrestling and new wrestling, and you're doing that there in China. That's pretty fucking cool.
Thank you.
And she's from Virginia, dude. And she encompasses all these things. The fighting background, the singing, the acting, right? And then this personality that comes through. Then her look. I mean, come on. I think it's just a package.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? A package
Not
to be
Lex
reckoned
Luger,
with.
but still a package.
Well, a much better package than Lex Luger. But
There you
yes. It's awesome.
Well, I sucked at everything else, so I had to do something. Like,
Wow.
I find that hard
let
to
me do
believe.
this.
Yeah.
It's really cool. But tell me about China. So you get over there, your first tour through. How was that? What was the experience of what were the crowds like?
Very different. It is much like, I mean, I haven't wrestled in Japan, but just watching like MMA fights from that was filmed in Japan, it's in other sports,
Yeah.
they're very quiet.
Uh-huh.
So that's how the China crowd was. They're very quiet.
They watch.
And we literally had to teach them how to react.
Got it.
It's so
Wow.
new. They have no idea. And we had the announcer basically explain the rules and explain everything to them so that we can teach them and start getting people used to pro wrestling.
Get rowdy.
Yeah, it's like, all right, hey, cheer. Like, this is our baby face right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know. So finally, they're starting to pick it up.
Okay.
And they're starting to pick it up. But when they first started cheering, they were just cheering everyone. They were like cheering the heels, cheering the baby face. Like, it didn't matter. They would just cheer everyone. Which we're like, all right, that's an improvement.
They're happy to be entertained, right? So
Yeah.
they're forgetting it for the first time. So I kind of get
Exactly.
that. Do you start in Taiwan, Hong Kong? How do you make your way through China?
So my first tour, my first place was Taiwan. And then
Is that like a homecoming from your family for you? Did that feel
Pretty
good?
much,
Taiwan,
like-
you're Taiwanese?
I'm both, actually. My
Okay.
dad's from Shanghai. My mom's from Taiwan.
Whoa.
So, yeah,
That's heavy.
both. Yeah.
Right? To represent that way, I can't even imagine the feeling.
So it was really nice because the show was in Taipei, which is where a lot of my
capital.
family's at.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I had no idea there was pro wrestling in Taiwan.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, what? There's pro wrestling?
You
So
had
it
no
was
idea
awesome.
that the airport looked like better than any mall in America. They have everything,
Yeah, there's a lot over there.
right?
So,
Shopping mecca in an airport.
so I went there and wrestled there for the first show. Second show went to Shenzhen, China.
Okay.
Second show went to Singapore. Third show went to Shenzhen, China. Fourth show went to Shanghai, China. So it was literally like nonstop.
Bam, bam, bam. Big cities.
Bam, bam,
Wow.
bam. And then in between, I went to Macau and where else?
That's a dream. That's the gambling capital
There's
of
so many
Asia.
things. Yeah, I went to Macau, and then back to
That's
Shanghai.
so heavy,
Yeah,
though.
went to Macau, then back to Shanghai, and then that was my first tour. Then the second tour, this one I just got back from.
Yeah.
I went to Nepal, which
Whoa,
was
way up in the north in the Himalayas.
it was crazy.
I can't even imagine what a crowd looks like there. Nepalese
Do they all
people
look
are
like
so
Sanjay
mixed.
Dutt? Because he is the player from the Himalaya.
They're
right?
mixed, man.
Yeah, it's mixed.
Okay.
If you
Yeah.
think about what it takes to be Nepalese, it's even the cuisine is mixed.
Some of them look more Indian, others look more Asian.
Okay.
And then some's just
50-50.
like mixed in the middle. It's really
Wow.
There's such variation.
Yeah.
Wow.
But man, they're really nice people. Like really nice and like hospitable.
That's awesome.
So it was really a cool country. I expected to go there and it was going to be like really, really rural.
I was
but
curious about that. Yeah.
It's a mix. Like some parts is rural. Yeah, there's like certain parts where it's like, whoa. But then right next to it would be like a palace. It's crazy. It would just
Yeah.
be like,
You've seen a lot.
yeah, it's,
Sounds like what?
amazing.
yeah, it's crazy. So
Even more so, though.
And kayfabe is not dead over there.
I can see that.
So it was not dead, and it was insane because the Prime Minister of Nepal came to the show, and he
Whoa.
What the-
awarded us.
what the?
Yeah, so I got like a medal and a certificate.
Oh my gosh.
I got awarded by the Prime Minister of Nepal.
That's crazy.
It was like such a great experience.
You've already surpassed so many experiences for so many people.
I've been so fortunate.
Kathmandu, you know what I mean? Right up there with Nepal,
Yeah, that's where we wrestled. at.
right?
Yeah, so it was crazy.
Unbelievable.
Went there, and then
Food. How'd you do with the food? I know you're a foodie. I want to know.
Ooh, it was good. So they
Right?
got this thing called momos.
Uh-huh.
It's like one of their signature dish. It's basically like, I don't know if you've had like Asian soup dumplings. It's like
Sure.
these little round
Of course.
dumpling things, but they
Yeah.
dip it in this like Indian type of sauce.
It's
And
like
it just-
curry.
It's so good. Like
I gotta try
it is
momos,
so
Robert.
good.
Write that down.
Momos is like bomb.
Gotta have it.
So that was really good.
There's
And
a
their
Nepalese
coffee.
restaurant here, so we're going.
Oh, there is.
There is, yeah. I got one.
What?
I got one.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I love
It's a
everything
Himalayan
California.
cuisine.
I love California.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
See?
we do have the best of everything. I don't care what
Yeah,
anybody
there's
says.
really West side's best side.
Right? It is.
It really is.
For
There's
real.
everything out here.
I love it. Go back. I interrupted. I didn't mean to interrupt. You're killing me here.
But
I gotta talk about food.
Went to Nepal and then went to Sanya, China, which
Okay.
is like basically the Hawaii of China.
Oh,
Whoa.
damn.
Yeah. It's like a very
Vacation spot.
like it's like seaside, island off of China. It's kind of like, the big touristy place. and
Oh,
stuff.
it's where they filmed the Meg, right, Robert? I don't know. The big shark movie
Oh, really?
just came out. Yeah, and there's like, it's Sanya.
Oh, okay,
It's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I stayed out there and
Telling
did
you.
shows out there
I
too.
love that. You came
And
back
then-
chocolate.
Yeah,
Got some color. My
Yeah.
girl turned Mexican,
pretty much.
right? She
Everyone
put little
thinks I
beans
am.
in her rice.
I do like beans.
Hey,
Hey,
hey. Really finds out all the good stuff.
Beans don't really like my stomach though, and my stomach doesn't like beans.
Oh, you backfire like a Volkswagen.
Like, name that toot.
That's
Oh,
right.
Jesus.
Don't walk behind me, you'll get freckles.
That might be an overshare, folks. We were going to get kicked off. I'm just saying. So, if you were to look into the crystal ball into your career, I'd say 2 to 5 years from now, where would you like to see yourself?
I would like to see myself, doing more with pro wrestling and being able to get it on a bigger scale. I'm still learning along the way.
Yeah.
Like I said,
It's
I
important.
didn't really do pro wrestling before and really started my career in NXT. So there's still lots to learn, and I am really, after leaving there, it's basically, I didn't even realize there was so much out here outside of WWE. There's so much that I have yet to discover. Like, I didn't even know that there was shows in Spain and Italy. There's shows in Spain and Italy
Yeah?
and Germany, and I'm actually going out to Spain for my third tour.
Love it
So
there.
I will be going to Spain and Korea and Philippines and then back to China. And then in November, I have a UK tour. So we'll
Wow.
be going everywhere. And then hopefully in the future, if timing works out and everything works out, Japan. That is definitely also a goal, to wrestle in Japan.
There you go.
So
That Joshi style is pretty rigorous.
yeah, it's crazy. A lot of stuff going on, but it's like, I love it. And I just want to keep learning and keep building in pro wrestling, because I feel like finally, after so many years of trying to figure out what I want to do and not willing to give up anything,
Yeah.
this is the perfect combination of everything. I
Yeah.
get to do entertainment and I get to
See the world,
wrestle
dude.
too, and do the martial arts side of me, and also travel and see the world and
So
learn different
amazing.
cultures and eat awesome food.
Yeah.
Like, it's like basically a dream come true. Now
That's
it's
awesome.
like,
That's the best thing to
Get
hear,
Yeah,
everything.
that is.
isn't it?
I can't let you leave without asking you one question. So obviously, the Mae Young Classic, that first one, was so pivotal in terms of what it meant for women's wrestling. Who are some of the athletes that you were like almost enamored with or impressed you in that tournament? Who stuck out?
He really hits
Wow.
home with these questions. I'm trying to give you time to think, but
yeah.
my man Woods really
Like-
digs deep.
Like, are we
How's
talking like
in
a
the
Shayna
term?
Baszler or like a Mercedes Martinez, Reina Gonzalez, maybe?
I mean, I was friends with everyone, so they naturally stood out to me. I mean,
Okay.
they were already on my radar. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, like Martinez, she wrestled my friend, and she's great. Like, very knowledgeable. Her move sets were awesome.
Yeah,
she
absolutely.
really knows what she's doing. So I really enjoyed watching her and my friend wrestle. And then I wrestled Shayna Baszler, and that was really nice and such an honor to do, because I thought it was like a perfect matchup, because we have this similar background,
Absolutely.
both from MMA, and then she also, she did pro wrestling longer than I have. So it's been nice having someone who's like a veteran in there with me.
Absolutely.
And just the story that we told was like the more than I could ask for. Like, basically, we both have a jiu-jitsu background, and then
That's
she has,
huge,
yeah,
right?
then the striking background and both MMA backgrounds. So we were just playing to that the whole time, and we really, because that was really my first big match, and I think I was only maybe 6 months in.
Wow.
Yeah, I
that's
think I was only
incredible.
6 months in or something. It was actually probably less because, less because I was in there, but I didn't wrestle until 4 months later for my first match. And then later, by the time Mae Young came around, I was technically 6 months in. Oh, wait, no, 8 months in, I think. So that means I had 4 months of any type of wrestling experience. I think that was actually my third match.
Wow.
So 2 house shows, and then that was my third match.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
Yeah.
incredible.
Now, before we end the show, do we have like a social media we can catch you on? Instagram, Facebook?
This
Where
guy
can they
pulling
catch
in
you?
the show. I love that.
Yes, my social media, I'm on Instagram the most. It is Zeda_Zhang, because someone stole the Zeta Zhang and Zeta Zhang. So it's Zeda with the _Zhang. Then my Twitter, the Zeta Zhang. Facebook, the Zeta Zhang. Everything the Zeta Zhang except for Instagram. Until that guy freaking takes off the freaking name. Stop using my name.
Oh,
There's
wow.
a dude. There's like
So
a
it's not right.
catfish.
We're gonna have to take care of that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
We should roll on him.
Anyways,
Should shoot on him.
We
We're
got,
the
we got
Gym
our
Crashers.
OCCW champions out there just waiting. They're at the
coming
window
in.
right now.
They're trying to come in. So every Tuesday, 8 o'clock, Gym Crashers live. Adam Woods, myself, the Polynesian Panda at the wheel, and our buddy Joey
That's right, baby.
the Bull.
And a huge thank you to our guests, the incomparable.
What an
Zeda
honor
Zhang.
to have Zeta Zhang on this show, right?
Yeah, damn right.
Setting the bar high, going back to Asia, gonna take over the continent.
Hell yes. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you next week right here on the Gym Crashers.
Like us, subscribe to us, share that link. See ya.